Morena, kia ora folks, it's Bridgitt here, and welcome to my radio show Naturopathy with Bridgitt at Radio Kidnappers here in Hastings, your local community radio show. I want to say thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to my program for your natural health tips and well-being, and I appreciate you, so thank you. I'm also very grateful to be here in New Zealand, being able to freely move around in the current worldwide situation at the moment. So I feel very blessed every single day, and I give thanks for that. Okay, so my topic today is fear and what fear does to us as humans on all levels of our being. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about the emotional symptoms, the physical symptoms, and some solutions that we can apply which may help us or not. It's your choice. Okay, so also tip of the day, I'll try and remember that at the end of our talk. Okay, so I am a qualified and registered naturopath, nutritionist, medical herbalist, reflexologist, lymphatic drainage specialist, and one of my hats that I don't normally talk about is that I am a bark flower remedy therapist or specialist. I love bark flowers, I think they are amazing, and I'm going to talk to you a bit more about that further down in my talk. So I have a natural health clinic called Maintaining Your Health, Whakatikiteka Oranga, and I'm based in Napier, New Zealand, and my job is to empower my clients when they come to see me to take control of their own health, their own well-being, and I offer them suggestions with nutrition, maybe vitamins and supplements, maybe herbal medicine, and reflexology, and also bark flower essences. So they're a big part of any healing tool kit that I might suggest for your well-being. So I'm holistic, which means in my clinic I believe holistic health is when all levels of your being are relatively in balance, and then you can get a true healing. And you go, cool, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I'll tell you what it means in my clinic and my belief. So there's all these different levels to our being. And I believe like there's your very top level would be your spiritual connectedness. Is that a word, connectedness? I just made that up probably. Your spiritual, like your passion for life. Or it could be your religion, or it could be what you believe in, but what gets you out of bed every day. That's your wairuatanga, okay? Then that filters down into our mental emotional health, and I'm going to talk about that a bit later. So that's your hinenaro. Then that filters down into our physical health, our tinana. Also, it filters out into our family. What's happening with our family affects us as well. So that's our whānau. And then it can go out to our extended family, what's happening with them and their children and their environment. And that's your whanaungatanga. But also it comes from also your overall holistic health is from do you know where you come from? Where have you come from? Where are you going to? What's your culture? What's your connectedness? Oh, there's that word I made up again. So all these together join up to make a whole and for your holistic health and well-being. So Western medicine calls this holistic health. Māori medicine, rongoa, there's a couple of models there that's called te whare tapawhā or te wheke, and there's another one called the Southern Cross. Some people relate to that model as well. I mainly do te whare tapawhā and te wheke. Okay. Right, so what does fear do to your holistic health? Okay, so Currently, worldwide events have created and instilled this incredible, gripping, festering fear in humans, among humans, all around the entire planet. At the moment, countries are exploding, they're rioting. It's just that everybody's gone mental a little bit, and fear has gripped everybody. Fear of one another, fear of other ethnicities, fear of oppression, fear of gangs. In New Zealand here, there's a big fear of gangs, fear of death, fear of sickness, and that, do I dare say, the cough, fear of the cough, fear of being an outcast, fear of going against the flow and being an outcast, fear of manipulation, fear of one's normality or familiarity, never being the same again, fear of change or not wanting to change. And Ken and I just spoke about lockdown and some wanting to remain in lockdown because they feel safe. They feel safer there. So fear has a great rippling on effect in our natural health and well-being. And history shows throughout the centuries that how world leaders have created fear to control and manipulate the minority population. So it's constant. It's constant. But, you know, I'm going to talk about us now, us as an individual human being, and fear, what it does to us. So initially, fear can be good initially. You know, there are positive and negative aspects of fear. So fear helps protect us. It can act like a warning sign, and it makes us aware of danger and prepares us to deal with it. Feeling afraid is a very natural human response. It helps us to act quickly and run away from danger, or if you're a soldier in the army, or you know you're going to war, then it gives you that fear, enables you to run into danger to save others. So the word is called potentiation. Ooh, that's a big word. It's called potentiation, and so that's when your fear becomes intensified and you react more powerfully. So what happens in the body is, in response to the stimuli of fear, the brain in the hinenaro tells the hormones to do their job. So it releases dopamine hormone, and it signals the adrenals to release these stress hormones called cortisol and adrenaline, and there to get you up and running from danger or running into danger. So your blood pressure and your heart rate increases and your heartbeat increases. You start breathing faster because you've got to get an oxygen as well to make you run faster. Even your blood flow changes because blood gets diverted to your extremities, to your limbs, to help you move faster, making it easier to run away from the tiger, run away from the saber-toothed tiger, or from anything else in the modern world. So emotions play a huge part in fear. I believe that's holistic health, emotions. So some emotional feelings, but these aren't all of them, are like, you know, in your gut you have that feeling, that uneasy feeling when there's fear about that something's not quite right. You might experience anxiety, depression, grief, loss, abandonment, loneliness, rejection, and you might fear being judged by others. So all those, I believe, have that ripple-on effect down into the physical, into the tinana. So once you're in that state of excessive fear and those emotions have got a hold of you, it kind of overrides all other sane, logical thoughts. It just takes over your entire thinking, your entire being. And so some physical symptoms, but not all, but some are that manifest into the body. We're all different, so we all experience it differently. It could be chest pain. And I've seen some folk who have been admitted for heart attack and there's been nothing wrong. They've done all the tests, done the ECG, done all the blood tests, and there was nothing wrong. So that was related to an emotional reaction has caused, similar to a heart attack. So chest pain, rapid heartbeat, and could be from coffee, but most of the time it's fear. You feel chilled, you have a dry mouth, nausea, you might feel a bit sick, you might have shortness of breath or breathlessness, or a feeling of suffocation or claustrophobia. Asthma, you might have asthma, so it makes your breathing harder to get a breath in. Hyperventilation, sweating, trembling, and we've had sore stomach, yeah. So fear is big. It does affect us humans quite severely. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, they liken different emotions to different parts of the body, different organs of the body. And they say that fear is the emotion connected to the kidneys. So the kidneys are two like giant beans, and they sit just on the flanks, on the sides of your back there. The emotion of the kidneys and the bladder, because it's the water element. So kidney issues often arise when we're dealing with fear, such as a change in life direction, or unstable living conditions, or just fear. Continual chronic fear can create continual urine infections as well. I've seen that in clients. Also, in traditional Chinese medicine, they liken the emotion deep sadness and grief with lungs, sitting on the lungs. It's heavy on the lungs and you can't breathe. It's weighing you down, that deep sadness and grief. And see how it's all connected there, the emotions to the physical. What else? Okay, so one way that we can help this, other than having to pop off to see a psychologist or a counsellor, or even to get medication, bark flower remedies are a really good way of dealing with emotional imbalances that then have that healing effect on the physical. And I've seen this many times. Have you heard of Rescue Remedy? Have you heard of Rescue Remedy, Ken? Yeah, so Rescue Remedy is made by Dr. Edward Bach, not the bark on the trees, B-A-C-H. And Rescue Remedy is made up of 5 bark flower remedies in it. So I'm going to tell you a bit about these bark flower remedies. I provide them in clinic, and I can specialise and make them up specifically for you, depending on what's going on with your emotional and physical. So this Englishman, Dr. Edward Bach, was he English? Yes, he was. Discovered the gentle healing power of these flower remedies roughly in the 1930s. Now that's a long time ago, and he had the foresight to connect the emotional side to these flowers and see the healing response in the physical side. He recognised that in order to bring about this healing, it was important to treat the cause of illness rather than just the symptoms, just like a sticking plaster, treat the cause of it. He understood that the true cause of illness and disease in human beings lies in their personality, because we're all unique, we're not the same, and we all experience fear differently, so we all have different symptoms. And the mental emotional patterns through which we view ourselves and the world around us. Some view what's happening around the world with deep fear. Some others think, well, that's happening over there and that's not happening to me, and that's okay. But it affects us differently. So Dr. Edward Bach, he developed 38 of these different flower remedies. Now that's a lot, isn't it? That's 38 in that family. I've got that whole kit in my clinic. And I'm going to tell you more about what they do. But each flower remedy that he discovered has a correcting energy vibration for a state of mind or emotion that needs to be gently rebalanced. And since the body, the physical body, the tinana, is a direct reflection of what's happening in the mind, the hinenaro, it transforms that negative energy, negative vibration into a positive, which allows the body to respond naturally and to heal naturally. And so this quote is by Dr. Edward Bach. The cause of all our troubles is self and separateness, and this vanishes as soon as love and the great knowledge of unity becomes part of our natures. So love conquers all. It really does. Flower powers in the 60s, was it? Yeah, in the 60s they had it. They had it right. Love all. Love all. So Bach flowers are safe. They can be taken by anyone, from babies, little babies, to the elderly, to people who are in a coma, unconscious. You can even dab it on their lips. You can walk past people and spray it in their energy fields. It still has an effect on them. So it's safe without any fear of side effects, overdosing or addiction. They work on that higher vibrational frequency, and they will not interfere with other forms of treatment. In fact, they're complementary. Okay, so they're just really amazing healing herbs. There's 7 main groups of Bach. Oh, I've got to say something. So they're not only made from herbs, so they could be made from rocks, barks of trees, flowers. He created them from many different elements, and then he lumped them all in together and called them flowers. But really they're not just made from flowers and herbs. Okay, where was I? So there's 7 main groups of Bach flower remedies, and Dr. Edward Bach grouped them and according to emotions. So for those who have fear, so great fear, there's a group of Bach flowers for those. For those who suffer uncertainty, insufficient interest in their present circumstances, loneliness, oversensitivity to influences and ideas, despondency or despair, and overcare for the welfare of others. I tell you, they're incredible, and there's just a remedy for pretty much everything. So some of the fear Bach flower remedies I'm going to tell you about now, and the explanations. So there's one called rock rose, and this helps such as terror or fright, that you feel frozen and unable to move or think clearly. This is pretty heavy fear. There's another one called mimulus, and this is for fear that you know of, fear that you can put a name to, like, I don't know, you fear of dogs or spiders, or fear of lockdown, or fear of being alone, fear of losing your mind, fear of losing a job, you know, fear of speaking freely. There's another one called cherry plum, and that's for fear of losing your mind, fear of losing control or your thoughts. So that's quite good for Alzheimer's or dementia. And doing things they know are bad for them, but which they consider wrong. It teaches one trust in one's spontaneous wisdom and the courage to follow one's path. Another fear remedy is called aspen, and that helps when you feel fearful, but you don't really know why. Like you go, oh yeah, something's going on, but I don't really know why. So that's aspen. And the fear, it's vague, it's unexplainable, but you just feel it. It's with you all day and all night. So aspen's for that. Red chestnut is a really good one as well. So that's fear for when you find it difficult not to be anxious for other people, fear for family, fear for friends, fear for others. You're afraid of some unfortunate things which may happen to them. So red chestnut is a good one for that as well. So that group is fear. And then if you come to me, and I'd assess your whole situation, and I would maybe look at some others that we can put into it. So I wouldn't put all those in one remedy. I'd pick a couple that relate to you. Are you with me? Are you with me with these bark flowers? Okay, so the other ones that I might pop in are clematis. That's really good because it's a fear of being ungrounded, and you might have a bit of a spacey feeling. So that's quite good for Alzheimer's. Honeysuckle is a good one because you want to live in the past. You can't let go of that. Mustard's really good for when you're feeling depressed and it's come on. It's come on really quickly and you think, where did that come from? Chestnut bud's another good one for if you're making mistakes over and over again and you just haven't learned that lesson. Walnut's a really good one for breaking that chain, breaking that link. Holly's really good for when you you wait, I'll get you. Revenge. Elm for being overwhelmed. Starve, Bethlehem, that's for shock, sudden shock, old chronic shock that still settles in the body. Willow's really good. Willow and chicory go well together for fear and being really annoyed, really peed off. Vine's really good because you're trying to persuade people to do things your way. Beech is when you're being overcritical. So those are a few bark flower remedies that I would look at to help you with fear, help you balance everything holistically. So tip of the day, we must remember tip of the day. So my tip is you cannot control others. You cannot control what is happening in in the world. You can only control what is happening to you and in your personal environment. You absolutely, no doubt, have a choice. Everybody has a choice, and you have a choice to control what is happening to you and what is happening in your life. So I've got this another quote. It's about quotes today, and this is from the ancient Greek philosopher and scientist Aristotle, I think. Yeah, Aristotle. He says, "He who has overcome his fears will truly be free." Yeah, that's holistic health, I reckon. So if you think that you would like to come and see me and get some bark flowers or have a health assessment, you can phone me on 027 284 3781. You can contact me right here at Radio Kidnappers. I have a web page, www.maintainingyourhealth.co.nz. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you find balance naturally. Kia ora, folks. Have a great day.